In the world of combat sports, we are used to seeing big strong men being labeled as killers, but in this case, a babyface with a weight of 160 pounds has rightfully earned that title.
Like that body catch. Down goes Gil again.
Gennady Golovkin broke people's faces.
It was the Golovkin left hand, and now it's the right hand.
And bodies.
Macklin trying to obey those instructions, and there's the body shot.
This is the deadliest knockout machine the world has ever seen after Mike Tyson, so get ready to witness greatness.
The greatest fighter in the last 100 years.
After earning an Olympic medal to his name, Golovkin made the right decision and turned pro in 2006, signaling the start of a monstrous career, with his first victim being the unfortunate Gabor Ballo.
Box!
After playing with him enough, Golovkin threw the equalizer.
One, two, three, team out.
Triple G would move on to his second bout against Navara, who was actually able to withstand Gennady's early assault.
Левосторонние стойки, вот так начинается не уступать своему противнику.
Но все-таки, на мой взгляд, он правого хука в исполнении Геннадия Головкина.
Но вот все-таки видно, что находится на ринге, судя по тому, как защищается, уклоняется и как резко действует вот Головкин, конечно, чувствуется в нем очень перспективный боксер, потому что боксер с большим потенциалом. Геннадий.
Что он нам, собственно говоря, сейчас и демонстрирует. Посмотрите, насколько мощно и жестко, хлестко.
The Soviet boxing style of Golovkin was evident, as he was outclassing his opponent with unorthodox movements.
Ну, наверное, Геннадий все-таки, наверное, и сам понимает, что посильнее, помощнее и дает сопернику шанс, вещается по рингу, с какой легкостью он и что же самое скоростью наносит удары. Посмотрите, попадает сейчас дальний правый боксер из Казахстана.
Сразу видно, достаточно разнообразен арсенал у Геннадия.
His opponent, however, didn't hesitate to try his luck.
С преимуществом Головкина, но оно может быть не настолько ощутимое, но это, в принципе, своего противника Геннадий. Но, в принципе, конечно...
The following rounds saw more risk-taking Golovkin, who was willing to do everything to take out his opponent.
В общем-то, наверное, подвиг должен какой-то совершить Сергей, преуспеть в этом бою, потому что...
Даже, наверное, не попытается, а уже попытался. Мы с вами видели, как он несколько раз работал двое Сергею Наварке.
Тут действует боксер,
And he finally unleashed.
Выглядит его преимущество неоспоримо, хорошо джебом действует. И может вот как активизировался и
опустил руки вниз и тут же в открытую голову несколько раз очень мощно ударил. И, соответственно, результат. Теперь уж точно Геннадий Головкин своего преимущества не упустит. Что он опять делает? Посмотрите, вновь обрабатывает по корпусу и мощно бьет.
Все-таки форсировать события в этом раунде. Все-таки пропустил
Навар. Глухую защиту.
Согласен, абсолютно согласен.
Navarka's minutes of survival were being counted from now on.
Какие-то признаки жизни и признаки, и на какие-то намеки на борьбу. Но нет, посмотрите, совершенно это ненадолго. И пару мощных и точных ударов головки.
Да, справа, конечно, очень хорошо бьет Геннадий.
And in the third, the referee had seen enough.
Тягивает на себя, ждет, когда тут совсем провалится.
Да,
и
вот справа, хорошо попал сбоку, челюсть и все.
И в печень, и все.
Да, удар в печень.
What's better than a knockout is when fighters quit in their corner, because that really means that they give up on their hopes. And that was exactly the case in the fight against Garbanski. It seemed like Grabanski was there just to survive. Golovkin was throwing some big shots that clipped his opponent. But his hopes were not yet lost. In the third round, however, Golovkin was beating that man so bad that the doctor had to take a look at him.
Stop! Time out. Time in. What?
And after being cleared to go on, his mental fuel had run out and was accepting many punches. Until he announced to his corner that he couldn't take the beating anymore.
Boxing team, Gennady Golovkin.
Test.
Garcia thought he had a chance early on to the fight, but he got served what he deserved.
Ну і теж він мав непогані.
Головкин пока присматривается. Но переходом в профессионалы, в боксерах, любителей или останется в любителях. Областных акимов в Казахстане обещал Головкину выделить заработную плату в размере $2000, чтобы на первенстве страны, но решил многих своих соотечественников, как он трансформируется в профессионала.
Ну що, як для п'ятого двобою доволі непогано діє Головкин.
И вот удар правой по корпусу.
Займати центр рингу.
The hooks and power jabs that Golovkin was landing made the crowd admire how Garcia's head was still in place.
Вот по корпусу от Головкина.
Знов пройшов правий в тулуб. Корки Аріеля Гарсія. Цьому боксерові Магомед Шабуров, тренер Головкіна, як завжди, доволі спокійний.
We saw a more elusive Golovkin in the second, who looked like he was setting up the knockout punch.
Клауса Питера Коля на контракте ин. Что не вкладываются сейчас удары Головкин.
Дуже високотехнічний Головкін апперкотом, при тому, що це був перший удар знизу від казаха.
And power right was thrown.
Что в второй половине этого раунда начинает опять вкладываться в удары.
Пустив рукавичку аргентинець і одразу отримав в голову.
Гарсии нужно отдать должное, несмотря на тяжелое...
Garcia wanted some more and got taught the lesson.
Хорхе Аріель Гарсія, як м'якій грозі він зараз перебуває. І...
Ну вот еще один удар по корпусу. Просто сжался Гарсия, ну и еще один левый боковой. Вставать Гарсия, ну и...
Triple G's first months as a professional were really successful, and he was starting to catch the eye of the promoters who wanted to see him get tested. Sylvain Gomes was chosen as the next victim. Golovkin naturally came out aggressively firing at Gomes. But it was a real surprise that his opponent didn't hesitate to throw punches too. Golovkin was showing a different type of elusiveness as he was throwing shots that his opponent couldn't see. In the third round, he upped the pace. But surprisingly, he couldn't find the angle to knock his opponent out. After receiving advice from his corner, he came out in the fourth determined to knock Gomes. Ending his first year as a professional with a record of 8-0, Golovkin came to put up a great fight against Sergey Kamitz. The silent arena made the fight 10 times better, as we are able to hear the sound of Golovkin's punches. Golovkin was constantly testing his opponent's chin. And he knew that he would get him later on. Some really good shots were landing. But what was really interesting was the determination of his opponent to not get knocked out. and he was actually trying his luck throwing some punches. By the fourth round, however, Golovkin understood that time was running out and he should knock his opponent out. Sergey gladly recovered from the knockdowns, but his fate wouldn't be the same in the fifth.
Stop! 1, 2.
After that continuous beating, he gave up.
Stop. Stop. 1. Okay.
Golovkin was wiping through his early competition, and that was also the case with Mashigo, who couldn't last even a round with him. What the world wanted to see was someone that would actually test Golovkin's skills and stamina and drag him through the whole 8 rounds. Ibrahim Sid was the guy to do it, and he actually put up a great fight even from the start. But he was dropped as he got too confident.
Stop! 1, 2, 3.
It seemed like Golovkin had started to understand his opponent and was slowly closing the distance. But Ibrahim still did not retaliate. This was the first time that we saw Golovkin not have his killer instinct in the first couple of rounds, indicating that his game plan was different. Halfway through the fight, both fighters did not hesitate to let each other know that they wouldn't quit. Ibrahim's timing of shots looked great actually, but still, Golovkin's high IQ proved superior as he was seeing all the shots come. In the 6th, Golovkin finally started to throw the haymakers. And was looking like it started to set up the knockout. In the 8th, he finally showed levels to this game.
Stop. It's enough.
After proving that he could go the distance and still hold his power, he returned to his first round knockouts, with his first target being Alberto Mman.
Нагадаю, Мамані проводив сюди WBA. Тинець тримається на дальній дистанції. Противника, але його досвід виступів на тихенько робить свою справу. І зараз ми бачимо пропускає. Дійсно. Але ось бачимо його досвід зараз. Допомагаємо уникати проблем, але все ж таки ні, добиває свого супротивника Геннадій Головкін і чомусь рефері.
Golovkin looked different. It seemed like he had a more aggressive and killer aura in him. And to be fair, he showed that in his next fight even from the opening, dropping his opponent.
Є в нього. Цікаво. До межами своєї батьківщини. Зараз проходить декілька серйозних, потужних ударів від Головкіна і вже змушений клінчувати Ентоні. Так він почав дуже активно, а ось зараз вже його покарав казах і активно пробувати і шукати дірки. Подобається. Оу, лівий боковий. Як це прораховує, як це чітко.
It is still admirable how his opponent managed to stay in the fight and continue to the second after such a bad beating.
Другий раунд. Ентоні Грінвіч. Так, Головкін також трошки пропускає. Зрозуміло. Але нічого такого не пропустив. У казаха видно, що якщо влучають, використовується. Максимально використовує всі свої можливості американець. Навіть ризикуючи.
The American seemed to have regained his mind in the third and started listening to his corner, who was telling him to throw more.
На межі поразки ще на початку. Це йому вдалося. І ось бачимо, зараз намагається.
In the fourth round, however, Golovkin let them know that he wasn't here to play games.
Та інших з великою зацікавленістю цей поєдинок Геннадій Головкін. Ну, до речі, у цьому році закінчується контракт Геннадія Головкіна з Юніверсумом. В професіональному боксі, як ми знаємо, багато
And in the following, he punished him harshly.
Налаштована команда американця. В будь-якому разі Кріміч не приїхав до Німеччини відбути номер. Чудовий удар по печінці, якісно він пройшов точно. Підводиться Ентоні, але...
It was finally time for Gennady to challenge for the Intercontinental title against John Anderson. One would think that a championship fight would be competitive, but Golovkin again managed to make his work seem easy.
Келлі Павлік і переходить у другу середню вагу. Посперечатися за світову корону. Ну, ми бачимо, як одразу показати, що тримає удар він непогано. Ці 3 поразки він зазнав лише за очками. Ну і дивлячись на те, як він захищається, справжній нокаутер з добре поставленим ударом, акцентованим, вибуховим ударом під будь-яким кутом.
There wasn't much action in the first minutes as he was trying to understand his opponent's fighting patterns so that he could punish him.
Те, що за очками виграти у Головкіна зараз. Чи розумію, що я забігаю трошки вперед. Такий технічний цей боксер, настільки він...
Going into the second round, he was confident about his game plan.
Головною подією цього вечора боксу Корен Геворгян. Ну а зараз ви бачите Геннадія Головкіна. Починає третю сходинку у рейтинзі за версію WBA. Може таки бути Головкіна. Намагається вкладатися в удари Джон Андерсон Карвальо.
And when he pressured his opponent, he couldn't withstand the pressure.
Так, тут треба щось нове вигадувати Головкін. Ми бачимо, як постійно працює тулубом бразилець. Почав зупинятись. Ми бачимо, Головкін просто розбиває зараз захист, дуже грамотно це робить різними кутами, пробиваючи апперкоти. А по дозі йдуть удари. Хоча вже видно, що Головкін готовий добувати супротивника, і він це робить. Важко піднімається бразилець і не хоче він продовжувати цей бій.
His next fight would not be in defense of his title, but his constant growing following had come to witness another body get dropped by what seemed to be the future of boxing.
27 лет. На профессиональном ринге он выступает с 2000, хорошей школой. Знаете, мне, уважаемые любители спорта, всегда интересно смотреть боксеров Казахстана. Перед противником сразу старается поставить такие сложные, трудноразрешимые или вообще весьма эффективно он работает левой рукой, атакует его в корпус Геннадий Головкин.
But coming into the second, he showed no remorse.
Левой рукой, и, наверное, больше. Ох, смотрите, да, и упал сейчас Михаил. Вот все-таки не пропустил он опять удар с командой на продолжение поединка. Надо сейчас постараться достоять до конца раунда. Будет сейчас, конечно, Геннадий Головкин добивать его. Не надо, ни в коем случае не надо сейчас задерживаться. Опять, смотрите, да, опять пропустил удары и оказывается на полу. Михаил. Очень сейчас тяжело ему приходится после 2 пропущенных мощных ударов Геннадия Головкина. Ох, и уже 3-й раз на полу. И, скорее всего, наверное, сейчас поединок будет прекращен. Удар справа. Ощущение, что нос...
The WBA had offered Golovkin a shot at their regular belt. Coming into the fight against Tapia, he was all business.
Левой рукой Геннадия, чтобы успевать перехватывать его атаки.
Держать Геннадия Головкина на дистанции, что совершенно очевидно, поскольку Геннадий и мощный. Зацепил. Было такое довольно...
and actually managed to hurt him a couple times.
Вот насколько длиннее руки у панамца.
Знаете, буквально физически вот ощущаешь, как все ближе и ближе при течение одного-двух раундов он попадет. Работая вторым номером, он, по-моему, в степени, чем следовало, отдал инициативу Геннадию и понял, кто, собственно, хозяин в ринге.
In the second, he stuck to his game plan of evading shots and counterpunching with pinpoint accuracy.
Боксера из Панамы.
Ощущение, как и в том бою, который мы с вами наблюдали, я имею в виду, не соответствует классу. Да?
Есть еще важное искусство менеджера и промоутера.
Отлично выглядит Геннадий, прежде всего в том, что он не форсирует события, никакой шелухи в ринге мы не...
Второй апперкот пропускает, к сожалению, Геннадий сейчас на дистанции ближнего боя, на движение вперед на соперника.
In the third round, however, he started showing why he was on a whole different level.
Определенные надежды. Пытается пробивать апперкот колумбийец, и я думаю, что пора уже Геннадию вычислить алгоритм.
Здесь очень важна скорость работы руками в ближнем бою.
And dropped his opponent with a brutal body shot.
Потрясший панамца, уже его же оружием панамца ответил Геннадий Головкин.
Немножко Геннадий торопится, мне кажется, нужно иногда поближе
подследует, поскольку отнюдь еще не созрел и не потрясет, тем самым лишает его возможности четко.
Сравнивая с Дмитрием Пирогом, конечно, нужно сказать, что Геннадий боксер более такого силового. Если Геннадий выбрал работу корпусом и разыгрывает доверного, Геннадий все-таки пытается соперника перерубить. И вот мы видим сейчас на канвасе. До последнего сейчас останемся в Астане.
At this time, nobody wanted to fight Triple G, and he was fighting in Panama until someone would accept his challenge in the U.S. Roma was jabbing from the start and trying to start fast.
Геннадию внимательно следить за действиями Аумы.
Легкий, но наткнулся.
Который пока поставит друг друга в неудобное положение. В бою и в интернете, и на многих ресурсах.
Не проигрывает первый раунд Аума.
Что самое главное, Аума не пятится и держится.
Golovkin was tentative with his punches and was looking for a big opening.
Противника. Прервал серию атак он сейчас соперника. И вот мы... Застоялся Аума, тот же наказывает его Гена прямыми ударами. Вот это вот желание Геннадия доминировать в поединке, все время стремление идти вперед.
Напор угандийца. Это тоже
Угандийцу Гене. И очень внимательно работать на отходе назад. Мы видим.
Прям-то все и делаем.
Вот еще пропускает Геннадий.
The pace was fast and hard as the fight progressed.
Боксер с именем, с самолюбием и с мастерством.
Ну вот мы сейчас видим начало раунда.
Самолюбие должно сказаться преимущество Геннадия и обмен. Ведь, скажем правду, давление, что уж тут, говорится, скрывать. Надо оставаться самим собой. Это...
Работать иногда отходит на дистанцию, но опять сближается сейчас с противником.
Что может Аума отнестись к этому бою.
The boxers were trading a lot of punches.
Поработал прямыми и сразу сблизился с противником.
Опытный мастер ему противостоит, и поэтому не дает работать Геннадию на удобной для него средней дистанции.
У меня такое впечатление, что пропускать в этом раунде.
Да, сейчас тяжелый правый удар Аума отпустил Геннадий, я даже испугался, не болтанул ли его. Не видно никакого рисунка. Видно, что...
Отбивается. Вот смотрите, какие серии скоростные выдает.
Roma was able to handle the power of Golovkin and continued to battle back.
Грамотно работает.
Этот бой приходится на поединок с нашим боксером. Пока бой. В лучшем случае для Геннадия очко в очко.
Может быть, дана установка своей силы на этом участке работы.
Полностью в комфортном темпе, на комфортной дистанции для Умы проходит бой.
Golovkin started fighting even harder, attempting to overpower Uma.
Какой Гена? Постоянно готовил. Здесь он просто забывает про переднюю.
Ну, мы видим, что здесь совершенно
Расслабленный, внимательный, легкий.
ход поединка. Вот это неплохо было сейчас. С начала боя Геннадий. Не хватает вот...
Later on, we saw Uma pick up the pace and start throwing more and more punches.
Видно, что времени в тренировочном зале от Геннадий. И прямо идет в ближний бой Геннадий.
Uma was outworking Golovkin and making him use a lot of his energy.
Очень четко. Ни у кого из любителей бокса в России и в Казахстане. И также нужно трезво понимать, что боковые
очень много.
Golovkin was having trouble with Uma's faster hands.
Правый попадает подбородок Ауме. Вот еще раз. Вот легкость пошла. Легкость. Да, проваливай его и наказывай. Отлично. Прекрасно. Молодец.
Как все в боксе мгновенно может перевернуться.
Замечательно. Попадал.
The 10th had Golovkin continue the punishment, with the champion beating up Uma against the ropes. He was battering him with both hands until the referee jumped in to stop the contest.
Работать по площадям, работать по цели.
Вот она дистанция, Ген. Вот
руку Аумы. Да, на честном
слове Геннадий Головкин в каком-то трансе он пребывает.
Отлично.
Шаг назад и отлично двойка. Что судья, останавливает бой?
Ну, Аумы.
It was finally time for Golovkin's U.S. debut against the polished Proxa, who had a lot of trouble from the very start of the fight.
See how he does against the best opponent of his professional career right now.
Scheduled for 12. His middle name is Gennady Golovkin. There's your Triple G. Proxa with one, and that came in his pro debut on March the 5th of 2000. Bob Papa.
So far, he's 30 years old, and you see he's in against the guys with Roy.
Well, he fights off instincts and reflexes, like he said, so he makes it very difficult for a guy that's what Golovkin is having a problem with right now. It'll take him a few rounds.
Right hand from Golovkin. Proxa gets hurt. Down he goes.
7, 8. You went back to gloves. Okay. You're all right. Golovkin with a deceptively long reach, Roy.
Yes, very long, and that left. I don't think he has a defense for that left hook.
Golovkin was finally getting the recognition he deserved, as he was showing to the U.S. audience a glimpse of his greatness.
4 inches to Proxa's 22 and a half.
Meanwhile, you see Golovkin.
And we heard his trainer say in the meeting that when he sparred with certain fighters, he didn't like, which means that he's not a hard object to hit.
Boy, he's throwing
at all.
Heavy jab.
Fascinating to see him. You know, we get the tapes, in preparation. You watch it on tape. They've gotten stronger and sharper. It's pretty impressive seeing him in person.
And you feel as though every punch he throws can end the fight.
And he would not lay down.
He's throwing bombs himself, Prox. As an amateur or as a pro, I asked him what's the worst he's ever been hurt. And
Abel Sanchez, when they work in Big Bear, he says because he doesn't feel threatened by anybody his size.
10 seconds to the bell.
the polished Proxer started questioning his motivation to continue as he was getting battered.
As you see, he doesn't put all of his weight forward at no time in the fight. He's on the attack. His weight is still in the middle. See there? He's never too close, and he's not giving Proxer his weight in the middle. Therefore, you can move it whichever direction you want to move it in. If you put it in, you give it to your opponent. If you keep it back too much, then you take away from your own power. But if you can keep it in the middle, then you're doing pretty good.
He didn't go down easily even in the first round, though he was hurt. He was still throwing punches.
Impressive things about Golovkin, even when Proxer has his moments, Golovkin never looks flustered. He looks really relaxed.
He does. He's never frustrated about not being able to get there because he feels like eventually, and make no mistake about it, Proxer is not a bad opponent either. He's a guy who's good counter by Proxer.
Considering the original opponent, Dmitry Pirov.
I think I like Golovkin, where a guy like Proxer can steal you with a left hand, and there's nothing you can do about it. But just then you saw Golovkin get it back.
10 seconds. Oh.
And got manhandled in the fourth.
Gennady Golovkin.
Round one because he knocked the other guy off his feet. You know, you score a knockdown, you get an extra point. So that's a 10-8 round. That's why it's 30-26. Proxer seems to bomb it every single time. So he always leans into the left. Gennady Golovkin hits him with a right hand. 3-0, Golovkin.
I gotta say, it is rare you see a guy combine the natural heavy hand.
Good left hand to the body, up to the head. Down goes Proxer.
8. Okay, good, okay.
Yeah, I think the body shot started that exchange. The shots hurt him and got him started. Then he tried to exchange with a big punch. You can't do this.
Uses the punches so well. Proxer's in trouble again.
The body shots are really working. Yes, it is. Good for his entire career.
Now there's another combination from Golovkin.
We've seen, I can't think of the last guy in the middleweight division.
Sergio Martinez maybe.
Good left hook to the body, again by Golovkin.
Martinez does not search and destroy like this.
But unfortunately for him, his luck wouldn't last in the fifth.
States for the first time, 23-0. He is just tearing apart Proxer. Combinations to those miss. Good right hand to the body. Proxer trying to counter. Golovkin just
showing a tremendous heart, being in with probably the hardest, and he's still giving us all he has.
Oh, right hand hurt Proxer. Golovkin steps in and down he goes.
5, 6, 7, 8.
How tough is Proxer? No, the referee stops it.
Guys.
After that destructive performance, Golovkin had been elevated to WBA Super Champion, and the era of Triple G had officially just begun.
In the world, pound for pound, 25-0.
He would show that there are levels in this game by facing the Japanese Ishida and being on his ass as soon as the first bell rang.
Judging by the public training session that I witnessed this week, Bumlani, he's such a good fighter, this Golovkin. I have seen him before as well. And as I said, a true professional. The way he stretches, the way he shadow boxes, the way he hits the pads. A brilliant little fighter to be the next Manny Pacquiao of the world.
Quality boxers in the ring and quality officials, the three judges at ringside, and Hall of Fame referee stand this one. Beautiful jab, Golovkin. But Ishida has a good jab too.
Sizes his man up with the jab. On paper, there can be only one winner, Gennady Golovkin. But we know the fight game works. One punch changes a fighter's career.
Ishida has said repeatedly this fight, this is my big moment.
Opportunity here. If he can take the WBA and the IBO middleweight championship from Gennady Golovkin, then he's in the big money. But I fully out tonight.
That's the left hook. Ishida. Good left hook from Ishida. It's got well, the bleeding, but he came into this fight with a flu blister.
Yeah, at the training he already had a But
now
if he's good enough,
GGG is changing his attention.
The second round was no different, with Golovkin punishing his adversary with some massive haymakers.
intimidated by the champion. And that's exactly what we wanted in the WBA and IBO Middleweight World Championship. The great Marvin Hagler, former middleweight champion, is at ringside, and we spoke about it in the ring 5 minutes ago, what a good fighter Golovkin is.
A step backward. He's standing his ground, pretty much showing little or no respect.
Well, that could end up being a problem for him. If you stay away, have a good fight. Oh, terrific left uppercut, right hand by the champion, Golovkin. And another big left hook. And it's all Golovkin. Just a matter.
He was looking hungry for blood.
Perfect range. What a professional fighter this is.
Wonderful selection of punches.
The baby assassin, he's got that smiley little baby face, but when he gets in there, can he fight? Oh. Oh, what a right hand from Golovkin. Ishida says, bring it on. Oh, Golovkin has already found his range as early as the second round. And his timing perfect. The young aspiring professional boxers watching this fight, then you'll be able to fight like this guy.
Good referring, Stanley Crystal. Each time the hands are free. Although you'll see the Ishida holding the other side, but each time the hands are free, Stanley Crystal lets them fight on.
Ishida doesn't like that uppercut.
Perhaps for the first time in round number 2, we've seen the punching power.
And when the third started, he knew he would send his opponent to the Shadow Realm.
Upright, no upper body movement from Ishida. Hardly miss.
He does it all perfectly, Mman. I mean, look at it. Defensively, he's great. He's so accurate. And he's just taking his time. Just wearing his man down.
In the center of the ring. From Ishida.
Making Stan Dulu's job easier because they've just, as you said, standing in the middle of the ring and just trading leather.
Fight that will not go the distance.
Well, and of course, a fight where Ishida will be the loser because right now he's taking punches defensively, not very good as Ishida.
And he has not been able, with that jab, to make him be aware that he will be punished if he comes inside.
Say Bumlani for the Japanese.
A powerful right hand sent the Japanese through the ropes, unable to recover.
Fully against the WBA and the IBO middleweight champion. Oh, big right hand. And Ishida's down and he's out. It's all over. Stan Christodoulou's called it over.
Gennady. Facing the tough, durable, and experienced Matthew Macklin in Connecticut, Triple G scored a chilling knockout for the ages.
He turned pro a couple of years before.
The first 2 rounds were exciting and interesting. Macklin, never short on courage and gameness, had some success in the opening 2 sessions, yet he also had to take some hefty shots to the head, one of these punches cutting him above the left eye.
Giving up a Golovkin's positioning.
Golovkin stalking Macklin now as he did. Golovkin missing with the right. Golovkin pops Macklin with the jab. He knocks his head back.
Powerful. He's built like a fighter. He's not built like a bodybuilder.
The loose muscles looks more like a freestyle swimmer. Those are the ones that are responsive to what boxers need. Knocks Macklin into the rope.
Usually fighters who Golovkin in there haven't been many. He has designed his style to knock worse.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Jim.
Including the Olympic final, so he doesn't have an Olympic gold medal as Andre Ward does.
Though his style has changed since an amateur, he's more technical. He has a
right hand landed, left hand moved Macklin's head. Golovkin easily dodged it. That right hand to the body was vicious by Golovkin. Now Macklin gets in a right hand and momentarily...
Macklin bleeding freely from that cut of...
Then, in round 3, Triple G landed a perfect shot to the midsection that dropped Macklin to the canvas, unable to recover.
An uppercut landed between Macklin's guard. Macklin, with the guts of a burglar, fires a big left hook and lands it.
Responsibility of every fighter, and Macklin showing it here.
Absolutely.
Macklin's not going to pack it in and lay down. Golovkin's going to have to do what he has to do. Like that, to get
Body
Macklin
shot
out of here.
puts Macklin down. Down twice against Sergio Martinez in the 3rd round.
It was said that Macklin had suffered broken ribs as a result of this devastating punch.
Up with the right uppercut, didn't want to hit him with it.
Curtis.
Curtis Stevens was really the first fighter to try and get to Golovkin's head by trash-talking him, something that he would regret later on.
Come Saturday, I'm gonna fuck Gennady up.
When the time to fight arrived, however, he didn't seem so confident in himself. Even from the very start, Golovkin let Stevens know that this wasn't an ordinary fight and that it would be a long beating for him.
He just against Golovkin moments ago. Golovkin lands a left hook of his own.
Stevens hits you on the chin with the left hook. It doesn't matter who you are. You got to go.
Well, Triple G is doing a good job starting out early with his jab.
Stevens is at 5 feet 7 inches and with a 2-inch reach disadvantage from the armpit to the end of the fist. Not likely hard body shots. So does Stevens. There's a little left hook, Mr. Curtis, and now a right cross.
Stevens also is a pretty quick fighter, and he himself has a good amateur background.
Very quick fighter.
Golovkin lands a right cross, first one he throws. Stevens takes it. Golovkin with a little straight right lead. Has a look of tremendous determination on his face here. Keeping his gloves up and focusing on defense. Now he tries a big shot and lands a right thing to see Golovkin backing away from a guy, but he respects Stevens' power. And good left hook.
Stevens' speed has
too much room though, because he's the taller fighter, so no need to stay there. Make the taller fighter have to reach for you a little bit.
Expecting something big to land.
And the threat of that has already dulled Golovkin's normal early rounds attack.
And Stevens landed a left hook.
There's a fighter named Darnell Boone. Almost beat Kovalev, lost a very close split to knocked out Adonis Stevenson. Knocked down Andre Ward, the only pro to do it. To get those shots home.
Well, other than the threat that a healthy Sergio Martinez might outbox him.
I'm liking what we're seeing right here in front of us tonight. It's a chess match to see who can land a point and get this much.
Big left hook for Golovkin. Stevens gets it. That's what his corner wanted. Right hand for Golovkin. Stevens with another little counter left hook. This is
good right hand by Golovkin.
Good left hook by Golovkin. Down goes Stevens.
Stevens couldn't believe that he was knocked down so early into the fight. The tables had turned. The prayer became the prey.
15 seconds in the round. He runs off the ring. Bangs Stevens into the ropes. 10 seconds to go in the round. Body shot. Looking upstairs. Misses with the left. Wobbles Stevens with it. One more right hand, and the round comes to a close.
Because he has the means to land the heavy thunder, it's more probable that he does because he's a superior technical fighter in addition to having the punching power.
Well, he had been showing Stevens all night that his hook was just as good or better than Stevens is.
Letting his hands go now as Golovkin jabs him into position in the corner, throws a right cross, gets in a left hook to the body. Now Stevens
back at him.
And that jab is really what's setting up everything for Golovkin. Stevens' corner
leaving himself open to the right hand. Golovkin has made an impression with both power shots. The left hook. Two big right crosses by Golovkin. Stevens takes it. Left in the 3rd round as Stevens backs into the ropes. And Golovkin looks for the opportunity to land something big. But again, has the possibility of a counter shot. Right hand over the top by Golovkin.
Doesn't want to trade a body shot for a head shot this early in the fight.
Over the body.
Right hand upstairs. Another body shot.
What punches to throw?
Body shot by Stevens and another one.
The continued beating by Golovkin alerted Curtis' corner as they were thinking of stopping the fight even before the 6th round, an action that would be justified as Gennady wanted to hurt his opponent for the full 12.
Oh, big body shot.
He's playing possibly.
2 good clean shots. And knocks Golovkin back and lands a left hook and brings some excitement to the now for Curtis Stevens.
Those are clean shots he's landed.
And he found that last right hand with the left hook.
Right hand. Golovkin lands an uppercut. Back with the jab. Lands a right hand over the top. Stevens hooked there.
Like Max said, maybe his head is starting to clear now from that first round knockdown.
And he's showing his hand speed.
Second round.
Oh,
big left hook by Stevens. Momentarily wobbled Golovkin. Right cross lands.
We have yet to see how Golovkin's going to react when Steven catches him with his
back and wait on Gennady Golovkin. But when he waits.
Saw another Golovkin wrinkle moments ago. The fighters seem to do very well. Body shot for Golovkin.
Won all the rounds. Stevens is exposing a vulnerability to speed. He's still very fast and hits sneaky hard. And this fight is a long way from over.
Good right uppercut by Stevens.
Checking. Now Golovkin with a body shot and a cross and momentarily hurts Stevens.
Hurt him bad with that body shot.
Good comeback uppercut and a right cross by Stevens. And the left. Golovkin trying to measure him one more time. Right cross for Golovkin. Body shot. Uppercut. Right cross. Right cross. Another right cross lands for Golovkin. Round for Gennady, who wobbled Stevens with a couple of shots and is still seeking a knockout as the round progresses. Good.
There's nothing easy for him.
Don't get us wrong, Stevens landed some good clear punches on Golovkin, but overall it was nothing impressive as for every punch he threw he took 10.
Or actually, Tanya Rozier, Barbara used to walk the perimeter of the upper deck of the stadium.
I don't know why Stevens was against the ropes. I think it was those body shots by Golovkin in the last round, but here Stevens is trying his best.
Stevens has listened to his trainer, who told him in the middle of the ring. But now Golovkin backs him to the ropes. And you heard Andre Rozier saying for you, this is the corner where Golovkin has hurt him twice.
Golovkin's done a great, the fans appreciate that kind of risk-taking, and it's one of the reasons Golovkin's becoming a fan favorite.
For his luck, the referee stopped the fight in the corner before it was needed for an ambulance to come pick up Stevens.
Just a little bit here. Landed a left shot off the ropes.
About to stop this one.
Whipping Curtis Stevens into the corner. And they're going to stop it in the corner. Andre Rozier had seen enough.
After 10 successful defenses, Golovkin would put his titles on the line for a fight against Daniel Gil.
And if the level of competition is indeed rising...
The first round was competitive, but Gil was under severe pressure and some of Golovkin's big bombs came perilously close to landing.
A chink in the armor that might suggest to others, including Golovkin, there's something to be said for both, as long as he wins the fight.
His fans want to see knockouts. We're discussing about Golovkin's positioning. Knowing he's such a big hitter and knowing he's frequently in punching range, the other guy here, Gil, has to constantly do things to keep him off. And so far, Gil's
jab is becoming part of the legend because opponents have been known to go down, as did Osman. Golovkin knocked him down 3 times in 7 rounds on the way to the consecutive knockout.
Golovkin showing nice little defensive maneuvers with his shoulders, just raising his shoulder and deflecting the shot.
And there's the footwork. Gil trying to slip away to the right. Golovkin traps him. Hooking off the jab and making it look good. Left hook to the body.
He can destroy the type of fighter, but he's patient.
Good right hand by Gil over the top of the... Now Gil goes down.
Early in round 2, the challenger went down from what appeared to be glancing blows.
Above the right eye. And Golovkin is going to work. Body shot, hard right hand upstairs. Down
goes Gil, first knockdown of the fight.
Gil rose immediately and used adept footwork and counterpunching to stay alive for the remainder of that session.
But Golovkin again grabbed Golovkin and then spin him.
More and more Gil realizes sheer volume punching won't do it. So Gil's muscling up and trying to put as much as he can on every punch. Meanwhile, Golovkin looks extraordinarily relaxed.
Gil complained after the knockdown. He didn't say anything, but he made a motion with his hand as though Golovkin had hit him with a rabbit punch in the back of the head. It was difficult to determine with a naked eye exactly what punch caused the knockdown.
Yeah, it was hard to see if one punch caused it. Good left hook by Gil.
Yeah. Even if, and Golovkin with him on the ropes again, even if he doesn't have the punching power to drive Golovkin back, he might want to try breaking
Gil making a spirited effort. Good left hook by Golovkin.
Break, let him out. Step back.
Right hand by Golovkin drives Gil into the ropes.
Late in the third, during an exchange, Gil went down heavily from a hammering right to the jaw. This time, the challenger was hurt.
more wildly than we've seen in recent fights at times. Gil has to take advantage of it when Golovkin misses the way he did.
Gil cornered again. Good body shot by Gil with the right hand.
Tasted Gil's power in the first round or two, or at least and is
walking toward it.
Walking him down, yeah.
He continues to look very relaxed. He's against the ropes, cornering him and hammering him like that body shot. Down goes Gil again on a brilliant right hand. Left hook to the body and a right hand.
The referee, Mike Ortega, gave Gil a once-over and wisely called a halt to the action.
Trying to land his shots in the exchange with Golovkin.
It was rumored that Golovkin would next fight former multiple-time world title challenger and then interim WBC champion Marco Antonio Rubio. The rumors were true, and the pair immediately went into action from the start of the fight.
Everybody talks about Golovkin's power punching. He lands more jabs per round than any top fighter in the sport. An average of 11 jabs landed per round. Fighters throw a lot of jabs, generally don't land them at a very high percentage.
Controls distance well.
Very economical, a guy that doesn't waste a lot of punches. Fight pretty smart from the start. He's standing right in, not wasting a lot of energy.
Discouraging for his opponent.
Golovkin has a Dodger logo on his trunks, hoping to help build a little more affection here in Southern California.
Adrian Gonzalez is in the crowd.
In the second round, Golovkin landed an overhand power left to the head of Rubio with Rubio on the ropes.
So far his chin has withstood everything, and right now he's getting the throw. But power shots at Rubio.
He took her.
Rubio working to the body, getting in a couple of good shots. Golovkin comes back to the body and gets in a better shot.
That last exchange. Oh, good up.
Hard uppercut by Golovkin. Momentarily wobbled Rubio. Now he's got him pinned against the ropes.
And see how he varies here.
Predator and work. Down goes Rubio.
Touch.
Yes. Second round knockout. He didn't make it up.
Gennady Golovkin proved once again he's worthy of being called boxing royalty when he stepped into the ring against Martin Murray, who showed no fear even from the very start.
Round one begins. Unlike many knockout punchers,
very efficient with his straight punches. Starting out doing a great thing, not allowing Gennady.
Generally, he likes to spend round one, looking at the opponent, sussing out his style.
Right now, it seems as though
boxing parlance, what Martin Murray is here is a cutie. He doesn't look like a cutie, big tattoo.
Can't make the same mistake with Gennady twice. make it 2 or 3 times, he's done.
After a tentative, cagey first round, Golovkin and Murray both started to let their hands fly in the latter portion of the second.
Punches. Gets excited as Murray lands a right hand high on the temple of Golovkin.
Another one.
And another Murray up, lands a right. And Murray ties him up again.
Landing some really good punches, though. If he had punching power, this would be interesting.
Having a pretty clear sense now of exactly how hard Murray can punch. Murray about 4 years ago, that fight went to the... But he wants to duplicate the feat of taking this into the late rounds.
And Perrelli did it.
Murray has been able to duck most of Golovkin.
Golovkin finally had a chance to show his vicious power and excellent accuracy in the third round.
As we mentioned earlier, Martin Murray can think of himself. I thought he won. I think most people did. And the narrow points loss in which one knockdown wasn't officially counted against Sergio Kamitz.
To a crowd of 50,000 Argentines, he told us he thought there was no way I was going to be given a chance to win that fight. If I had knocked him down 5 times, I might not.
Gil, neither were this aggressive in the fight either. Martin is not out here to lose. Martin is here to fight. Martin, and we knew that coming in because of
this fight. That he made whatever it takes to win this fight against Golovkin, and he expects a long, tough fight.
Right cross landing for Golovkin. Murray. Murray's tight guard.
And I think he's by far the best man yet.
And now Golovkin hurts him with the right hand.
Yes, he's hurt now big time.
The fourth round would prove to be a painful one for Murray, as Golovkin notched 2 knockdowns.
In the first couple of rounds, is pouring it on now.
Yes, Golovkin is breathing a little harder than we used to see him breathe at this point. And it could be those body shots from Martin Golovkin as well, though.
About 45 seconds ago, Golovkin
hurt his career. He needs to sharpen up in fights like this.
That hurt him.
Fighting Ricardo Perez. Yes, Golovkin goes in, looking for the kill.
Of course he is.
Using his feet now, trying to run down the second time. No 3 knockdown rule in effect. Second opportunity to opt out. Murray continues.
Murray's situation worsened in the 5th, as Golovkin bloodied his nose early on in the frame.
That's the earmuffs when Martin Murray puts up those hands by his ears and tucks his elbows.
Very early on, you're getting a chance to see the entire Golovkin arsenal.
Desperation man right now. Good desperation.
Hard right hand by Murray. Golovkin comes back with a body shot.
Hard to land that big shot. Never giving up. He is all over, man. This is a real killer, and he has 2.
It became readily apparent by the halfway point that Murray's tight defense was all that was separating him from devastation at the hands of Golovkin.
Not just stay off me punches, but punches and say, I'm still...
We're knocking out Ousmane Adama. Knocked Adama out with a jab. Halfway through round number, Martin Murray, as Gennady Golovkin tries to continue busting him up.
Now he has to be careful of that body shot, because if they catch him with a body shot right now, it could be really bad for Martin.
Damaging Murray's bloodied nose. Jab, jab, right cross. Uppercut, uppercut, uppercut.
Murray had a few brief flurries of activity in the 7th and 8th, but it was Golovkin's bout through and through at this point.
Afford to get careless against a...
And that Julio Cesar Chavez style left uppercut right there is really causing Murray the most problem.
For everything.
Yes, it is. Mainly because of the hands being held high to the face, like you said, Max, about to get more interesting than it even is now.
This fight's not over yet, but you wonder if some fighters will get brave watching this fight.
That body shot, baby. And he constantly stays right in your face.
Roy, is there something about his ordinary power, or is it purely a matter of great physical strength?
No, it's his technique, his footwork, the proper way that he throws his power punch.
Well, he also has this throughout the fight. You just get the feeling that...
Golovkin slowed the pace a bit in the 9th, and Murray was able to stand his ground and even trade combinations with his masterful opponent, but the difference in power was obvious.
We expect him to keep his fuselage on. He's just coming and throwing.
Just announced the scores to the audience. Golovkin is up by 8 points on one card, or 8 points on 2 cards.
On the temple on the left side, and then coming up with the right.
Murray up and firing. Murray lands another right hand. Golovkin's punches are simply harder. Golovkin almost slipped and jumped at him.
Let you know how game that doggone Murray is.
So standing up and cheering, basically.
The 10th round saw Golovkin notch his third knockdown of the fight.
So far. How about an 8 rounds to 1? 89-80, Gennady Golovkin, and the guy who's taking the beating wins. I mean, he's so far behind, then moving away, trying to hang in there, but taking a terrible beating. I've got Gennady Golovkin by last
round, and probably winning this round.
Always told me about Martin Murray, how tough he was, and I have to say that he was 2,000
within the first 13 pro fights. 18 knockouts in a row. That streak now being threatened by Martin Murray of the East.
And still fighting his behind off.
Going into this fight by many was that earmuffs defense of his makes it work for him to the extent that it has in this fight. He's a skilled
Golovkin's 18 knockout streak. The question is whether he can continue it. It could conceivably be a disguise for Triple G himself from the pressure of the knockout streak to make it into the 11th. Makes a maybe not.
A devastating barrage of punches early in the 11th round turned Murray's legs to jelly and dropped his gloves.
In the last round, and now Pavone's going to stop it. He's seen enough, seen it or not.
Golovkin would continue his path of destruction onto his way of becoming #1 pound-for-pound fighter, and in his way was standing the American Willie Monroe Jr.
Winks at referee Jack Reese, longest tour of duty in the knockout streak. Murray was sturdy. Golovkin right hands and left hooks upstairs. Now he has a harder target to find.
Feeling Monroe out before he unleashes the heavy artillery.
Well, he's feeling Monroe's jab, right jabs, and slipped in a left hand across the top.
He thought he was going to fit him out because Monroe would get too comfortable
at the beginning. Now Golovkin begins to open up and fire some heavy shots. There's a hard right hand by Golovkin.
Boone knows what it is to be hit with a brick.
That's his only loss, Willie Monroe Jr. Come up through the ranks and fought Darnell Boone, has either lost or nearly lost.
Golovkin landed a short right hand inside. It's a primary weapon against southpaw fighters for most conventional fighters. Good body shot by Monroe.
Pretty good punches.
Golovkin just missing to the side of
Flashing some good defense so far in this first round, Roy. Avoiding those shots without wasting much energy, turning his shoulder.
Avoid being hit by the big shots.
I see so far Golovkin outboxing Monroe just because he's the guy coming forward, landing the heavy artillery doesn't mean
he's on scout has landed twice as many punches as Monroe in round.
Golovkin dropped Monroe twice in the second round, and it looked as if he would completely walk through him inside 6 minutes.
Shot to the belt line by Golovkin. Said in the meeting with us yesterday, well, Golovkin will have trouble cutting off the ring on me.
The biggest problem Monroe has is he hasn't hit Golovkin with anything like Max said earlier. And when he can have free range target practice, that's what happens.
Down goes Monroe. Shot to the cheekbone.
Golovkin have free range target practice at you because he's going to catch you sooner or later.
Oh, Golovkin had a wide open shot with a left hook and missed it. He could have once again trapped Monroe in the corner.
And Monroe's still weary on his feet, and Golovkin won't give him room to think. Constantly keeping the pressure on.
Down goes Monroe for the second time. They came to see them. Golovkin's got 46 seconds left in the round. Oh, good shot by
Monroe. The best
Monroe.
shot that Monroe's landed this fight is that left uppercut.
Lands a second left uppercut. And Gennady shakes it off and comes back. Right hand. One more shot upstairs. There it is.
Overhand right. Hurt him really bad. But Gennady's being very careful because he knows that Monroe is trying to catch him as well. So Gennady being very smart here.
Monroe showing big heart, not just fighting to survive, not just tying him up, throwing punches back.
Somehow, Monroe escaped the frame. Even more surprising was the challenger's ability to mount a serious comeback.
The right hook from Monroe with his own left
didn't land much of anything until Triple G hurt him. Before Monroe was hurt, I don't think it's that Monroe was hitting him with anything hard. He wasn't hitting him much, period. Triple G's defense has looked really good tonight.
His power on punches to get respect, or he won't be in this fight long. There you go.
Yeah.
Or he'll continue to walk through your punches until he gets the knockout.
Monroe getting his best offense in since Triple G hurt him.
Hit your back at least. And you got to watch that left hook from Triple G, because Triple G trying to set it up again.
And he may be right about that. We know Golovkin cannot.
Took a couple of punches from Rubio and Curtis Stevens.
No, but these are not pity pats he's been throwing this round so far, Monroe.
Well,
and ripping to the body as well as he can. A couple of body shots of his own.
And I think that was a good body shot by Golovkin just now.
Landed for Gennady. Another straight right hand lands for Gennady. Leaping in to try to get...
Because when he comes up high to move, it's when he gives Gennady a chance to hit him.
But movement is his game.
I understand that. Movement and fight.
Monroe actually managed to throw some punches that landed clean on Golovkin.
Really good right hook to the body early, but he didn't follow it up. If he'd have followed it, make it tough for him.
There's a minor upset already that Monroe's here firing back in the 4th round after the way he looked in that second. Big shots Monroe's hitting Golovkin with.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He just looked at him and told him, come on. And sometimes that can be a confidence taker. He tells you to come on anyway.
Willie Monroe is putting forth here in round number 4.
Unreal.
Yeah, the Mongoose has a heart.
He may not make it through the rest of the fight, but he certainly earned Golovkin respect.
He is flying.
That might have been Golovkin's plan, but he may have allowed the game to last a little longer than it should have.
Academic, but...
Oh! Hook how to hurt him really bad, Jim. And that's because he's not punching. When he's punching, he doesn't punch you like this.
Look at the hard left hand by Monroe.
I mean, Monroe is hitting Golovkin with Golovkin's head is snapping and the sweat is flying.
And Golovkin is in a fight. Don't get it. You can't let him just come at you free range or free will. You have to make him avoid you or avoid your power punches before he...
Golovkin once again motioning to him like, come on, keep firing. With 1-2 combination from Monroe.
It's up to like 24 real hard taken in the last couple rounds.
And Monroe has abandoned the body attack, but he should have taken is just as tired as he is.
Abel Sanchez wants more activity.
Appears to be visibly slowing down in the 5th round. Now he gets in 2 body shots.
They've both done some good body work at points in this fight.
And now Monroe against the ropes. This is where Golovkin has done damage before. Hard shot by Monroe. The ropes now.
Yeah, but those pity pat punches will get him caught with a big shot if he's not careful. And you don't want to...
That's a shot that often does damage for him. Hard.
Finally, in the 6th round, Golovkin seemed to decide he'd had enough of the games, putting Monroe down for a 3rd and final time.
Oh, again.
Hurt him with a right hook. Right uppercut hurt him really bad.
Uppercut, Monroe again.
Yeah, right uppercut.
Against the ropes.
Oh, right uppercut hurt him really bad. And the hook just hurt him even worse. He's out of here.
3rd knockdown. There were 2 knockdowns in the 2nd round.
Monroe said that he wanted no more.
His legs are gone. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Willie Monroe.
It was finally time for Gennady to fight for another major sanctioning title, the prestigious IBF. His opponent was no joke. David Lemieux came to fight and was known to hold devastating power along with slick boxing skills.
Punch could end this fight at any moment.
From the beginning of the bout, Golovkin pumped a hard, thudding jab into Lemieux's face.
Jab, make him negate that first.
CompuBox knows he's landing his jab, and Lemieux hasn't landed much of anything. He's keeping him back. Jab, right hand.
Take Lemieux out of the fight early by backing him up with that jab, making him fight uncharacteristically of himself.
You see the amazing number already from CompuBox. He's landed more than 20 jabs in the round.
He has to load up on the home run left hook. He's done it once.
Right hand to the body by Golovkin. Hasn't really tried to get close.
With Golovkin's approach and precise execution, Lemieux looked like a beaten man by the 2nd round.
Trying to be more aggressive in this round, lands a jab. And gets in, landed 26 jabs in round 1, which is simply colossal.
Of course, we knew that.
Yep, he's outclassed me by hook.
First body shot from Triple G will be interesting too.
Look at the jab. Right hand. You trying various ways of trying to get past the jab. hasn't managed to do it with any. He's not missing.
It's not a normal jab, Golovkin.
It seemed as though every time he tried to get in range, Golovkin would stand him up with the jab.
Jab lands. Right hand was blocked, but knocked Lemieux back a little bit anyway. Golovkin almost caught him.
It seems to me was able to roll it with his shoulder and make it glance off.
Now the question was, will a frustrate coming in? Body shot by Golovkin. Right hand lands. Right lands again. Knocks Lemieux into the ropes. Left hook for Golovkin. Right hand lands again. Phenomenal accuracy.
Lemieux had begun to take more chances and landed his first significant punches of the fight. However, even at his best, his efforts weren't enough to win the rounds.
It's live by the gun, die by the gun. The best time for
him to make bad decisions. Matthew Macklin was quite articulate, particularly by the jab.
You got to give him for his first title defense.
There's Lemieux trying to do it the right way, coming in.
He wants to try to win it.
And he's earned a lot of respect. Keeps coming. Flowing like water. Body shot. Jab again. Jab again.
With that jab.
A very calm David Lemieux agreed with us in the meeting yesterday. His amateur career is much deeper and prolific than mine. It's my job.
But he realizes he's going to get hit anyway, so he's saying almost, I may as well.
In the fourth frame, a powerful left hook from Golovkin almost put Lemieux on the canvas.
The moment at which you're going to land the big shot. Harold,
you said 3-0, 30-27. Gennady Golovkin. You may say he's totally stupid. You know what's bothering me about this? He's walking in and he's getting blasted by Golovkin's murdering him. I mean, if I were fighting Golovkin, I'd get
going so far.
Maybe Lemieux had a plan coming in, and the middleweight division average 5 times the average of what middleweight fighters throw with the jab.
And that definitely is a game changer.
And talk about getting hit. There was the left hook, and Lemieux is hurt. And here goes Golovkin. Looking to finish already in round up the middle. Left hook again. And here we go. And the Canadian star is hanging in.
Oil.
Yeah, he's an even bigger underdog now. And it prompts Harold Letterman to say, for instance, I don't even think Lemieux has a plan.
Moments after landing one of his signature left hooks, the shot that usually puts opponents in peril, Lemieux was dropped by a liver-quivering body shot from Triple G.
Power shots in the last round, the aspect of a potential gradual beatdown. But of course, again, hard right hand for Golovkin. Haven't said his name yet.
Oh, good up.
Hard right hand by Lemieux. Best punch of the fight so far. Vicious body shot with the right hand. Hard left. Golovkin punishing Lemieux for hitting him with a...
His feet are always spread, always set to accept or give
one side or another. And your feet will always be solid underneath you.
That's how
down goes Lemieux. And Golovkin hits while he was down.
Golovkin's constant pressure and omnipresent jab systematically broke him down, forcing the fight to be stopped.
Between rounds, watching him, trying to figure out whether there's a reason to stop David Lemieux.
Head still goes on. A lot of us never expected Lemieux to last this long. Not only surviving, but having chances with those big punches that he's throwing.
All of that is a form of respect for David Lemieux's punching.
Punches landed against the fighter. In a sense, that fighter guy he's fought.
Exactly.
Good right hand. Hard left hook. Good right hand by Lemieux, but the uppercut by Golovkin drives him back into the ropes. The body shot hurt him again. Steve,
mismatch, beat down.
On February 10th, 2016, it was announced that Golovkin would defend his IBF and WBA middleweight titles against mandatory challenger Dominic Wade.
In the business.
And Wade's plan for scoring the upset.
This fight wasn't expected to be competitive, but Golovkin for sure put up a great show.
G apple cart. So we'll see whether that can happen. They're both listed at 5'10.5", but as they get into the ring, Wade looks like the taller fighter.
Yeah, he does, but he looks a little soft around the waist, Jim, so I'm sure Triple G is going to immediately attack the body as soon as he sees fit. You got to give Wade credit for coming in and taking a fight like this, though, because he hasn't had a big fight in his career yet, so fighting Triple G is not a big fight. It's the biggest fight he could have in this weight class.
Necessary going into the fight. Golovkin says that the jab fest against David Lemieux in his last fight, when he threw nearly 50 jabs in round one and instantly made it a tactical fight rather than the war a lot of people expected, he says that was a decision that was made on the fly. It was not something they planned in advance. He just walked in round one, started landing jabs, and thought, I'll stick with this.
Yeah, good fighters come in and see what worked in that first round, Jim, and whatever works is what they take. I mean, if you're smart, you take what the opponent gives you.
Dominic Wade's a nice young fighter in his prime, undefeated. He can handle himself, but so far he hasn't shown Triple G anything to worry about.
No, he doesn't have enough power to really cause him any concern, and that's not good for him.
Two and a half minutes in. Golovkin dominating contact, landing, as you can see, 3 times as many punches as Wade by CompuBox count in the round. Hasn't landed anything really dramatically big.
At one point in the second, Golovkin seemed to allow Wade to land punches on his face.
Quasi-rabbit punch, but the way Dominic Wade was turning away, he's presenting that as the target.
Golovkin seemed to hurt him with another right hand, but this time Wade stayed up.
Yeah, he hurt him again with that same right hand, Jim. And now he knows it's just a matter of time before he catches him and finishes it.
Crowd oohs and ahs at the right hand body shot.
Golovkin took them and ended matters shortly after.
He's going to get painted every once in a while because he's a pressure fighter. And down goes Wade for the second time. You better protect yourself.
I know that he can.
Good hook, some of his best shots now, Roy.
Yeah, that's a good hook. There you go.
It was the Golovkin left hand, and now it's the right hand.
Same punch.
And that's it. Less than 2 rounds.
After agreeing to face the Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, Gennady would first have to get through IBF champion Kell Brook and mandatory challenger Daniel Jacobs. Brook was no joke, and everyone knew that he wouldn't quit on any occasion come fight night.
And Kell Brook following the footsteps, looking more the way he did against Dominic Wade, trying to get in and land power shots. He takes a right hand. Golovkin hammered him to deliver with a body shot.
If Kell Brook stay on that rope, he will not, and he has to now find a way to survive this round because Triple G is continuing to put pressure in his
back. Golovkin off a little bit.
Under the belt where he can go ahead and figure it out.
Triple G is #1 in the sport by CompuBox count in landing jab. There's a good uppercut for Brook.
A little bruise from the left
right eye.
From the right eye.
Brook looked shaken halfway through the first round, wobbling on a crunching left hook to the head from Golovkin with his back up against the ropes.
The crowd alive. Golovkin nodding at him as if to say, okay, I taste it. There was a full-scale wave. Plus, he looked as though he felt perfectly all right. Agreed, Bernard?
Well, he looks good now, and he's been who he is. He comes from Triple G. Triple G is setting him up, and if he stay on that rope...
Body shot, Brook is in trouble. And what you got?
Brook's speed and creative punching helped him put together a fantastic second round.
About Kell Brook can't think about the power, but he must think about what can happen. As far as Brook must be active with that jab. He must be consistent with that jab. Not only patient, but consistent. Because if he sits there...
Golovkin has not been knocked down in his profession. Now jabbing, set up the right hand. And Golovkin landing a series of jabs. Brook getting in some heavy shots here in round number 2.
Counter. When Triple G throws one punch or a wild punch, he's waiting to counter. He's a better counter puncher. The uppercut, and he threw the uppercut again, and then he threw the right hand behind it. He started to put his punches together, and if he continue to do this in a later round, thrown by both men. And if he's not first, I don't believe he can take the power in a long fight with Triple G.
Distance to give freedom of movement to Golovkin and Brook.
where he buys himself time, where he wears out Triple G to the point where Triple G is
seems to have accepted the reality that he's going to have to fight with Triple G. Maybe he wants it that way, and they're trading in the center.
Golovkin's predatory instincts served him well in the third and fourth as he cut off the ring for Brook and landed some heavy shots on the ropes.
Get too brave, but smart enough to fight a smart man fight. And definitely didn't like that left hand to the body.
And unlike in the second round, when Brook was able to keep a lot of the action in the center of the ring where he likes it.
This fight. Now you see
Golovkin putting a lot of pressure on Brook.
He's trying to now rush because he don't want Brook to now get confidence. If Brook continue to win rounds here and there, where he gets the bad end of it.
Brook is trying to build something memorable here.
Trying to go ahead and establish his dominance. He's walking in, not even dunking. He's coming in. He's digging to the body with a three-punch combination. Triple G.
Clean right hand there and landed a glancing blow. If he had landed it solidly, it could have hurt Golovkin.
I think he is. And Triple G just threw a left and a straight right on that same eye with the left hand.
Totally in agreement.
He's probably catching up. Not that he's losing the fight, but he must now try. Jim, he got hit with a short uppercut just now with the right hand.
The fifth saw Golovkin come charging out of the gate, perhaps sensing that he could end Brook even if he had to take a few shots on the way in.
It's hurt a little bit.
And I think clean a lot of punches. But I got to tell you, Jim, Kell Brook got some jaw. I mean, I haven't seen a guy stand there and trade
midway through the fifth round. Golovkin is now landing body shots again. And Golovkin delivers his fiercest rally of the fight. And manages to knock Golovkin back with a couple of clean shots. And Dominic
It's 37, Gennady Golovkin. You know, Jim, he keeps pushing him back, keeps landing hard shots.
Got Brook to the ropes, Bernard. And Brook is putting his hands up like he wasn't hurt, but you know,
Golovkin, and God knows how long. 3-1, Golovkin.
Indeed, as the seconds ticked away and Golovkin kept coming forward, Brook's hands started to hang by his sides, with only his head movement saving him from eating every shot.
Brook was as he did in round number one.
And yes, he is. He's pop-shotting right now, as you see this.
But there's only so much punishment one can take from Golovkin, and eventually the fight came to an end.
Right, to stop the fight, and now
TKO victory.
Following the win over Brook, there were immediate talks of a WBA unification fight against regular champion Daniel Jacobs as part of WBA's plan to reduce the amount of world titles in each division. Things started off slowly for Golovkin, who seemed to be feeling his way through the fight in the first 3 rounds.
Very shocked right now that Triple G right hands in his fights just missed everything.
And I mean, I didn't expect him to come out like this. It just seems that, you know, he's leaving himself more vulnerable to be hit.
Back to right hand now. He just went off on the inside. How do you set
risk,
that?
maybe risk, you know, give him the opportunity. You know, he can't let him move. He can't let him move left and right. He's got to cut the ring off. You know, cut the ring off. But Jacobs, I give him credit.
Gingerly, but steadily into the range as he lands a right hand. Jacobs doing a lot of movement.
And this is actually a good game plan. Okay, it's a good amateur pedigree that G has.
Shifted back. Patience, try to bottle him up. And Jacobs, as he counters, drive very clear. If you come in, there's risk.
Definitely made it clear. You know, the more Jacobs gets hit with shots.
We're used to seeing Golovkin.
It's kind of actually winning this round. He's not landing anything, but he's.
The 4th round is when he took charge, dropping Jacobs with a hard right hand.
Jacobs himself calling home with him.
I don't think he was hurt.
But Golovkin is on a different
level. He's got to go, like I said.
Jacobs, Triple G is right on him now and showing some angles as he comes in as well.
It's like I said, Triple G is an information center. He was a super.
Jacob showing a lot of heart.
He's a little stiff. He's not flowing his punches.
And lands. Tries it again and just misses Golovkin. And so Golovkin opens up. Here comes Golovkin working to get out to the inside. Double jab by Golovkin. Back to southpaw again. Last time he was here, he was dropped. What is the mindset, the motivation here of Jacobs?
I see something that is probably a secret weapon that they implement, and being a southpaw, find out. But the judges will not give that belt. Jacobs.
He gets wobbled again with a good left. Daniel Jacobs gets abused.
Jacobs did not go quietly during the middle rounds. He came out aggressive and attacking in the 7th and 8th to narrow things up on the scorecard.
Might be a little frustrating.
And again, the lead right hand by Golovkin.
Jacob
took some good shots. Golovkin walked through this, and here's Jacob brought his share of variables into the mix. It's up pretty well in round 6.
Keeping him outside. A very good move
round 6 as a righty. What's Jacobs after in coming sheet?
It's working, obviously. They want to
hope that they're still in the fight late, but
that's very dangerous for him. Don't get involved in a punch-out.
He's feasting on this stylistic matchup.
Yeah, like I said. I'm surprised that
10 seconds to the bell. Okay, no punch.
65 because I gave the last round of Jacobs boxing very smart.
Well, just as you basically check it out.
Movement has hindered him from landing anything, and I give Jacobs good movement.
Good body shots here by Jacobs. Double jab, good right hand by Jacobs. Golovkin's power battery.
That's what he's trying to do. He's smart.
Good right hand by
strategies. They're both fighting very smart.
In the 9th, Golovkin again attempted to take back control. He was landing hard combinations and appeared to have Jacobs staggering before the bell stopped the action.
Attempt to get inside.
Jacobs win that fight. On the boxing level, okay, he's exploited G as far as boxing-wise. That he can maneuver, he can box and stuff.
Good uppercut by Golovkin. Another uppercut by Golovkin. Been good during this round. And lands a right hand. Good action at the end of the round for Golovkin. Nothing else to put it. Not a bad shoulder butt either.
Ultimately, Golovkin snatched the victory on points.
You gotta watch and see what goes on with this fight. These guys are exchanging punches. They're exchanging big ones. G's getting hit.
Very difficult rounds to score. They might be swing rounds. Last fight was scored. Before this with the Chocolatito fight.
So we don't know.
Good right hand by Jacobs. Going southpaw. Lead right by Golovkin.
Jacobs can't get bowled like this either.
And how big they're the key triggers to anticipate how this fight will be scored.
Still undefeated and still the universe will recognize.
Golovkin would have some fights of little significance moving on, but it was nothing special until he faced Canelo for the 3rd time at the age of 40 years old as his last ever fight. As Golovkin's career came to an end, his legacy remained secure as one of the most formidable and respected fighters in boxing history. Whether it's his devastating knockouts, unwavering determination, or his impact on the sport as a whole, Gennady Golovkin's contributions to boxing will be remembered for generations to come.